pros in football. Let's hit it, Phil. Quarterback position. I've been touting Daniel Jones tremendously this week and season long in DFS. However, Phil, we're really trying to every week pair a quarterback with a wide receiver and maybe think about some stacks. So where are you starting your lineup at the quarterback position?
All right, as always, if you want to pay up for a quarterback, I won't talk you out of it. Obviously, there's studs, Deshaun Watson, Lamar, Russell Wilson. But I am finding myself building around Matt Ryan. Again, we touted him last week, and he came through in a big way. He's only 6,300 on DraftKings. Jared Goff is 6,200. I don't mind him either.
Burned me.
The problem with Goff is he will just throw an interception or a fumble.
Or get 2 points like last week and sink your lineup.
Yeah, so I think Ryan is the more safe play. He's on a streak of throwing 300 yards, like 7 straight games, something like that. So I really like Matt Ryan. If you want to go cheaper, Jacoby Brissett for the Colts in that Houston game. But I'm finding myself Matt Ryan, man, so let's just lock it in.
Let's lock it in. Visionary style, like Dr. Roto says. Let's move to the running back position now, Phil. No Alvin Kamara. We've got Leonard Fournette kind of topping at least my rankings in season long. Would you go that way in DFS?
Yeah, 7,000 on DraftKings cheat. That is a great price, man. That is a solid cash game price. So Leonard Fournette is in all my lineup.
The Bengals, bad run, D, no doubt.
Yeah. I mean, we saw it last week. Obviously, the Ravens using Lamar Jackson, but they ran the ball a lot. Ingram found the end zone. Gus Edwards run a little bit too. So Leonard Fournette, solid play. I like Dalvin Cook at 8,000. Obviously, Barkley's back, so if you want to go up that high, I don't think you have to. I really like Josh Jacobs for the Raiders today against the Packers, 5,000. Packers are beat up, so I think that game stays close. So as long as that game stays close, Jacobs is going to get the ball a lot. So I don't hate that price. Tevin Coleman against the Redskins. The only problem with that is obviously you still have Matt Breida, but I think Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers are going to roll today. It's going to be raining, so I think they're going to dedicate to the run. So I don't mind Tevin Coleman. The guy you mentioned, Kamara, being out, I'm not on Latavius Murray. So, Chia, do you think I'm missing out on that?
You're not on him.
No, I don't have him right now. I mean, he's 5,100. So I find myself using Jacobs more. The Bears defense is good, so I don't know. I mean, that's probably the guy right now that I'm missing out that I think a lot of people are going to be on.
I think it's going to be back and forth. I got asked a question last night in a flex. Would I rather play Latavius Murray, Hunter Henry? And I said I would rather play Latavius Murray just because I believe in the Bob Harris feature running back over a pass catcher. I don't exactly remember what his law of fantasy football is, but I do know that there's going to be opportunity. All the Saints need to do is get near the goal line, and he gets a chance to score a rushing touchdown. Now, I'm not saying that I'm playing him in GPP because we talk about ceiling. I don't think Latavius Murray gives you that higher ceiling. But in a cash game, I will be having some exposure to Latavius Murray there. All right, let's move to the wide receiver position now, Phil. Pairing Matt Ryan up with the usual suspects, Hooper, Ridley, Julio Jones. Which way are you going?
All right, so obviously Julio at the top. Again, loving that Rams-Falcons game. I have a lot of Calvin Ridley, 5,300. Mohamed Sanu, that's your boy Chi. He's always in play. He's a cheap option. But I find myself – and Austin Hooper, who we talked about last week, absolutely went off. So I think you can go any way you want. It's all about roster construction. But I find myself because I'm paying up for Cook and Fournette, I'm using a lot of Ridley.
Cooper Kupp disappointed tremendously last week. You've got any shares of him today?
So this is a little bit of a cop-out. I have 3 lineups, and each lineup has a different Rams receiver because I don't know which one's going to go off, but someone is. Again, picking on that game in the Rams-Falcons. So let's just rank it here. Cooper Kupp is the safe play, obviously. I know last week I'm just going to throw that out the window. That was just a bad game by the Rams. Cooper Kupp's the safe play, but he's also the most expensive. And then you have Robert Woods and then Brandon Cooks. I really like Brandon Cooks this week. He's cheap. Woods is 5,900. Cooks is a little cheaper than that. So I don't mind either of those guys. Again, goes back to roster construction, but I find myself having more Cooks, but Cooper Kupp is definitely the safer play.
Yeah, I kind of feel like Brandon Cooks almost the forgotten man in that receiving core there, so I think you'll probably garner the least amount of ownership, no doubt. All right, tight end position. This is where we make or break a lot of times, Phil. Where are you leaning going this week? Maybe a little Mark Andrews special. See, yep, because we don't have Will Dissly anymore after that torn Achilles, unfortunately. So Mark Andrews leading your pack.
Yeah, Evan Ingram is back, so I really like him again going against the Cardinals, who we picked on all season long with the tight end position. I like him more on FanDuel because him and Andrews are basically the same price, but Andrews is only $4,900 on DraftKings. Marquise Brown is most likely going to be out, 4 o'clock kickoff, so we won't know that until later. But he didn't practice all week. Yeah. He didn't practice last week. He missed last week's game, so I think he's going to be out. So Mark Andrews, $4,900. The targets are there. The Seahawks struggle against the tight end. I think this is a safe cash game option with a lot of upside at GPPs as well. So Mark Andrews is definitely the guy. So I'm not fooling around, man. That price, you just plug him in, man.
Ronnie Stanley going to play?
Yeah, he's going to tough it out. So Stanley's going to be in there. But, yeah, I don't think Marquise –
I was worried a little bit about Andrews staying in the interior if Stanley was out to kind of help out. So that's great news there. All right, defense. Let's wrap up there. Where are you going this week in defense? You've been kind of punting your defenses a little bit in certain scenarios. Jets with the 1,400 last week.
And they were fine. I mean, it was enough to get the studs in, so it worked out. Again, the Dolphins in that Buffalo game are $1,500. It's basically free.
But they're really, really, really bad. Like, Buffalo could run all over them today.
Yeah, but it's over-under is like low 40s. So, I mean, it's not expected to be a high-scoring game. So, I think you could get away with that. But if you want to be safe, again, the 49ers, 4,100 gets the Redskins. Gee, with this weather, man, I don't see how Washington moves the ball today. Man. So, I think if you want to go with the safe cash game option, the 49ers is your pick.
Let's wrap up the show with the Phil Backert bonus play in DFS. Phil, who are you really liking that you want to stress get in the lineup today?
So I have 100% exposure to T.Y. Hilton, 5,900 for the Colts today on DraftKings against Houston. He absolutely dominates the Texans throughout his career, man. That is a cheap price for a guy that can absolutely go off. So 5,900 T.Y. Hilton, get him in your lineups.